all. Welcome to Career and Education channel. So in this channel, I'll be speaking about career options in India as well as I'll be giving out some education related informations in India. To start with, I will start this presentation with a career path for a civil engineering. So I'll give out some basic introduction, some job roles in civil engineering, top construction companies and builders in India, softwares and certification that will help you grow in your career as a civil engineer. So civil engineering is a profession of designing and executing architectural structures, civil, interior and infrastructure works. So a civil engineer is someone who builds housing complexes, shopping malls, bridges, flyovers, highways, etc. and so on. Types of companies where a civil engineer are employed are builders and developers firm, architecture and interiors firm, real estate firms, government sector, geotechnical offices, and product companies. So some of the roles that a civil engineer does in this industry is site engineering, project planner, project manager, and structural engineer, geotechnical engineer, building engineer, quantity surveyor, draftsman, BIM modeler, 3D visualizer, sales and marketing. So to start with, site engineering is a very common job that any civil engineer would do. And site engineering is a job which involves handling the site related work. It also involves dealing with labors in the site, coordination at the site, vendor management at the site, preparing site reports, you look at material consumptions in the site, progress and review meetings you will be attending. So some of the skills that you need to upgrade yourself to move beyond site engineering, that is to move beyond site engineering and get into project planning to get into a career as a project planner or a construction manager, or beyond that, a few levels up is project manager. So two basic skills that you need to be a site engineer is people handling skill and few MS Offices softwares like MS Word and MS Excel and basic of computers. And then if you want to start your career as a project planner, you should be having a certification of MSP or Primavera. MSP and Primavera helps you in planning a project at the site, that is the scheduling, the timelines of the project. So that is what a project planner does. Beyond that, you can also work as a construction manager. A construction manager is above site engineer, so he manages the site at a higher level, and apart from construction manager, at a very little more senior level, you can get into project management if you do some project management certification. Next role is building engineer and quantity surveying. Building engineer and quantity surveying roles are usually, sometimes it is done by the same person, sometimes the roles are done by different people also. A building engineer role is somebody who takes care of the billing of all the items or all the invoices that comes and goes out of site, and all the bill related things is what a billing engineer takes care. Quantity survey is someone who estimates the budget of a project before the project starts. So the work usually involves developing the bill of quantities, looking at the tender documents and estimating the budget, preparing budgets, bills, looking at the bills. You need to check how much cash outflow is happening, checking how much how much quantity of material is available at the site, looking at the labor bills, subcontractor bills, and so on. So this is another role apart from site engineer that any civil engineer can start your career as. And basics of MS Excel you need to know, and MS Word and AutoCAD also. AutoCAD is a 2D drafting software. You need to know AutoCAD because you need for a quantity survey you need to look at drawings that is supplied by an architect or a structural engineer or an interior designer. So moving on, next is a role as a geotechnical engineer. Who is a geotechnical engineer? He is somebody who works in a geotechnical offices. Geotechnical offices are those who works in large scale projects like mining, tunneling, drilling of rock beds, working with soil and rock and underground water supply, and so on. There are plenty of options for geotechnical engineers right now in India as well as abroad, and certification or softwares that you need to know to get into career as a geotechnical engineer is Plaxis 2D, Holebase, Settle 3D, Gint, Wallap, etc. Next is structural engineer. You can also get a job as a structural engineer, as a structural engineering draftsman. You can do a structural analysis by learning few softwares like ETABS, STAT Pro, etc. Also, there are other softwares like Tekla Structures for modeling of structural elements, and also estimating. Also, it can be used. There is AutoCAD, there is Revit structures. So a structural engineer's a job initially it would be assisting a structural designer doing some basic structural analysis and some site visits also. Next is draftsman. Draftsman is a desk job. Usually a draftsman is somebody who sits on a desk and does the drawings, 2D drawings of an architectural concept or an architectural work, or he develops the construction drawings or an interior drawings or structural drawings. There will be occasional site visit. There will be times when he or she has to print a lot of drawing sheets, assisting architectural designer and structural designer and interior designer. So to get a job as a draftsman, you need to know AutoCAD or ActCAD or BricsCAD or MicroStation. And SketchUp is a 3D modeling software. If you know some 3D modeling also, it will be helpful to be a draftsman. And I would suggest draftsman is a very basic entry level job. If you are draftsman after 2 years, 3 years, ensure that you move to the next level. Try to get into a designer level job beyond drafting. Next is BIM modeler. These days, BIM modeling, BIM process is a very talked about thing in the market in India as well as abroad. A BIM modeler is somebody who develops a BIM model using softwares like Revit, ArchiCAD, Tekla, Bentley, SolidWorks, or Civil 3D. BIM itself is a very vast subject, so I need to make a complete another video just for BIM modeling. So what all roles does a BIM modeler play in an office? He prepares drawings as well as a 3D model of any drawing. Printing drawing sheets is another thing that a BIM modeler would do. Site visit. Any civil engineer should be always visit site whenever possible, because it always helps him or her in improving the knowledge. So it will be usually assisting the architect and structural designer or interior designer or a plumbing designer. BIM modeling jobs could be in architecture or structure or plumbing or interior designing office also. If you do Civil 3D is mainly used for water, roads and railways. ArchiCAD and Revit is used for structure, architecture, interiors and so on. Next is visualization. If you're like not at all interested in doing civil related work, you're not interested in site jobs, visualization is something that you can do. For this, you need to learn 3ds Max, 3ds Max or Maya or SketchUp, and then you also need to learn Photoshop, V-Ray and Lumion. Photoshop is just to do a fine tuning of your rendered images. In visualization, you will be making a 3D model of a building or an interior. Also, you will be making a rendering views of those and some animations and walkthrough. Career wise, you can upgrade yourself from a visualization. You can get into gaming, you can get into VFX. These days a lot of movies are being done in VFX, so there is a very good career opportunity in even if you start a career as a visualizer. But only thing, in the architect's office, it's a slightly hectic job, visualization. Usually I've seen people working a lot of doing a lot of night outs and so on. Next is sales and marketing. So sales and marketing is like perennial. It's there in every industry. So just like that, even in civil engineering, you can get into sales and marketing. For a sales and marketing person, you need to be obviously good in communications, presentation and marketing and convincing skills, and you need to know basics of MS Office and computer basics. So within civil engineering or in construction industry, where can you get a job as a sales marketing? Like maybe I would like to quote a company like Saint Gobain, which sells facades and glaziums and aluminum facades and so on. So there, if you need to market the product, you can work as a sales and marketing there. Or if you're in a furniture firm, a furniture showroom or a furniture industry, they sell out their furnitures. Or it could be a painting industry like Asian Paints or Berger. Like you could be a marketing person for that industry. So some of the top construction companies in India are like GMR, L&T, and whatever you see on the screen. GMR have done a lot of airport projects. L&T also does a lot of metro rails and a lot of infrastructure projects. There, Shapoorji Pallonji in Bangalore. GMR is there all over India. L&T is there all over India. And like I mentioned, some of the software I've already mentioned for different roles. There are different softwares that you can learn. So based on what in which stream you want to go within civil engineering, you choose the appropriate software and move ahead in that. Like for example, AutoCAD and Revit and all will be used as a BIM modeling or a draftsman job, and beyond that you can move on. And then Primavera or MSP you can use to be in a construction management firm. There is Civil 3D for water and road network offices and so on. SketchUp for 3D modeling, Maya and 3ds Max for visualization, developing a 3D models and so on. So thank you all. This was a short video about career and education. Career is like really vast. So I'll be making subsequent videos for civil engineering itself. And if you like my video, please do like, hit the like button. Please do share my videos with your friends and family members, and do subscribe my video for more updates. And also if you have any queries, please comment in the comment box and I will definitely try to answer as much as possible. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you all.